Hello, my name is John McCartney and this is my video for the EECS 183 IA application. Today I'm going to go over for loops, what they are, why we might need them, and why we care about them. So a for loop is an iterative statement in C++ that allows us to perform some task a known number of times. Typically for loops have this structure here. So it starts with the keyword for, then followed by a set of parentheses, and inside these parentheses we have an initialization statement, a condition, and an update, which are all separated by semicolons. So our initialization statement tells us where we want to start. Our condition tells us when we like to stop, and usually this is defined by how many times we want to run through the for loop. And then we have an update, which is how we want to update our index to know how many times we want to go through the for loop. And then on the inside, we can just do whatever we want to do over and over. So why do we want to use for loops in the first place? So let's look at this example here. What if we want to print out the numbers 1 through 1000? So we can certainly start by just using cout for every single number 1 through 1000, but we can see that this is already going to be really tedious, and we're going to have to write 1000 cout statements, so we don't want to do that. But what we can do is use a for loop, which allows us to perform this task many times over and over. So what we want to do is create a for loop. We want to start our index at 0. We want to go through 1000, so we want our index to be less than 1000. And we want to increment our index by 1 each time. So this basically says that we want to run through this for loop 1000 times. So what we can do now is write one cout statement, cout the index plus 1, maybe an inline, close our for loop. So what this does is it goes through the for loop 1000 times, and at each iteration we will have this cout statement of index plus 1. So at the beginning, index starts at 0, so it's going to cout 0 plus 1, then an inline. On the next iteration, index will have a value of 1, and it'll cout 1 plus 1, which is 2, and then an inline, and so on. So eventually we'll have a list of 1 through 1000 printed out, which is exactly what we wanted in the first place. So now let's go through this problem. So we want to know what's the average of the numbers in this list 1 through 100. So like before, we don't really want to print out all of the numbers or sum all of the numbers by hand. So what we can do, we want to define some variable that's keeping track of our sum value. We want to keep track of how many numbers we've summed together, which is our count. We want these both to be 0. Then we can define our for loop. We want to start at 0. We want to go through this for loop 100 times. So we want I to be less than 100. And then we just increment I by 1. So at each step, we want to add to sum the value of I plus 1. And we want this to be I plus 1 because I starts at 0, but we want to start at 1. So we just add 1. And we can update count by adding 1, which means we just add one more number. So this keeps a running total of how many numbers we've summed together, and this sums together numbers 1 through 100. Alright, so then we can use this information to construct our average. Our average is just our sum over our count. One important note about for loops is that when you define variables inside your for loop, you have to follow the scope of the for loop, which is defined by this curly brace and this curly brace. So anything inside of these curly braces will not be accessible once you've exited the for loop. So just be aware of that.